Song sometimes called 10,000 Angels, and it's written after the account of Matthew 23, chapter 6 rather, verse 23. And it's an appeal to the Lord talked about the fact that he could have called 12 legions of angels. Actually, I think 12 legions is 72,000. But the writer, Mr. Ray Overholt, chose to use the idea of 10,000 angels. And this song begins by talking about he could have called 10,000 angels. And I want to look at that expression just for a few moments as we're about to partake of the Lord's Supper this morning. Some things that he could have done, perhaps. He could have stayed in heaven, where he would have been equal with God. And we learn in the Philippian letter that he emptied himself, and taking upon himself the form of a bondservant. And so the fact is that he chose to leave heaven and to come to earth and become a mere human being. He could have maintained his rightful status over the angels, but he didn't do that either. The Hebrew writer talks about being a little lower than the angels. He could have lived a quiet and peaceable life as a carpenter and not gone through all of the trials and tribulations that he did. He could have commanded his servants to fight, but he didn't do that either. He told Pilate that my kingdom is not of this world. So all of these things we think about when we sang that song. He could have called 10,000 angels. But the fact is, whenever you really think about it, he could not have done any of these things, because those things would have been against the Lord's will. And he prayed, remember in the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed that if these things might be removed from me, please do so. But that was not the Lord's will. That would not have been the thing that would have caused an individual for us to be able to be saved. And so when we look at this song, the last verse of that song says he could have called 10,000 angels to destroy the world and set him free. He could have called 10,000 angels, but he died alone for you and me. He decided that it was more important for you and for me that he died the cruel death of the cross. So when we partake of these emblems this morning, as we always do on the first day of the week, let's remember the bread that represents his body, the blood, the fruit of the vine that represents his blood. Look back to Calvary and look forward to the time that he'll be coming again.